What's cooking, everybody? It's your boy Brees, and you're now tuned in to the hottest platform for all the upcoming entrepreneurs, creatives, business professionals around the city. So today we're taking it down to Brooklyn, my hometown right there. We tapping in with Flossy's very own, Flossy's finest, Kyle, and he's gonna talk about what he does.
How y'all doing, man? It's CEO Kyle, live in Canarsie, Brooklyn. Today I'm here with my boy Brees. First podcast, to be honest. Cameras is on, feeling a little jittery, but we're gonna make it good. How y'all doing?
Yes, sir. So tell everybody what you like really specialize in.
So I'm actually into a few things.
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, I started a transportation company, private transportation, luxury car service company with a few of my business partners. That was in 2021. We in 2024 now. Still got private fleet of cars and rolling with the punches with that.
So you said this was 2021?
Yeah. When we first got our first batches of cars, that was 2021. I was really thinking about it 3 years ago.
So was this was like the idea, like we wanted to do like a car fleet, or is it just because we're young, so it's like you get those cars, it's like I think I'm gonna have a couple personal uses out of these.
Yeah. So my business partner actually, when we first got the first round of cars, first phase one, I like to call it, he went out and just got them for our business partners, the people I'm still in business with now. And so everybody was basically responsible for their vehicle, and there was a lot of us. So that first round of cars, we went and got, I want to say around 12. Went and got around like 12, 13 cars in a month. And we started from there. It wasn't even on no private transportation thing yet. It was just on like group economics, like this is our fleet. And we're looking to grow this fleet from where it's at now to 50 cars, whatever it may be in a few years.
Yeah, so especially too at that time, this is when Canossie's on the rise, like with the music scene. So it's like I know all the rappers, you got the Pop Smokes, the Ross Swishes. I just introduced you, Clay Frazier. Like having like, all those like influential rappers coming up in Brooklyn. Like I'm sure like, the demand was hot at the time, right?
To be honest, when getting into the car side of it, it wasn't based on the music at the time. This was actually like my first big real like business venture.
Yeah, of course.
On some trying to grow a company. Like I was in other businesses before, like I do other stuff. I sell hair products for the females. I do other like 1099 work, whatever. Sorry about that. I consult people on how to do the stuff I'm talking about. So I'm into a couple of different stuff, but this was like my first real dive into big business. So music wasn't necessarily a driving factor behind it. Even though I will say that now a lot of the clients I do have are in the music industry, and it's not necessarily only from Canarsie. I'm tapped in with a few of the Canarsie artists, but it's statewide. It's sometimes tri-statewide. Got a large group of people we like to service.
Yeah, so what was the thought process like when y'all jumped into it? Like I'm sure you guys probably thinking about what's the niche y'all gonna go for. How do we maintain all of these vehicles all at once? Not maintenance just from like a cleanliness aspect, but also I'm guessing, just making sure like, passing the inspections, making sure people don't go get them tinted, doing certain things to the car, like probably messing with the engine and stuff like that, more technical stuff.
So as I said, when we first got the first batch, these are all people that I know, like I knew from young. The person I'm in business with used to be my soccer coach, and he's always been like huge into business, but when we were younger, we never used to talk about it. So this was like, as I said, my first real big step into doing something like big business, quote unquote. So we wasn't worried about necessarily all those type of issues, like because other people weren't touching the cars at first. This is legit just my group
home
of people.
team.
Yeah, like home team type of vibe.
So everybody's kind of like liable for themselves.
Yeah, type of vibe. You're liable for the company because they're all company cars, but at the end of the day, if you're driving it, but we like to look at it as group economics. We like to keep everything in-house and reinvest all the profits. So say something like engine or something does happen, you're not necessarily coming out of pocket for that yourself. You put the money in already, and it's there for those type of issues.
Right, because I was gonna say personal expenses versus company expenses, kind of the same thing here.
Yeah, because all the money is in a sense grouped. It's group economics, and so when stuff is going bad, it's good because you already put your money in up front, and now when stuff is going good, stuff like getting new cars and whatever it may be, when we go try to, invest in to make the company bigger, your money is already in there.
Right.
Instead of now when we're looking to do stuff, you're not involved. Your money is legit tapped in already.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. I know that might
yeah,
sound like all over the place, but if that makes sense.
Yeah. So then what was it like though when you guys actually started to like do the outreach on that side?
Yeah, so as I said, when we got the first round of cars, 2021, the first like 15 to 20 cars we got, we were prepared for when Toro was gonna come to New York, because at the time it wasn't legal in New York. It was legal in all the other states, New Jersey and stuff like that. So we were actually looking to get into Toro in New Jersey, but it was too far and there was a lot of technicalities at the time that just didn't make sense. Then comes July, summer 22, and we get an announcement that Toro is becoming legal and yada, yada, yada. So at this time now, we have 15 cars already ready to go on Toro. So when we get the email, we list all these cars, and that first week Toro became legal in New York, it was crazy. Everything was booked. Everything, legit, like no exaggeration. I don't want to say the wrong number, but all 11 cars we had on the platform, they all got booked in that first week. And from there, that's when we really got into like, okay, now we're doing rentals and stuff like that. We were doing private transportation for word of mouth, but that's when we started to really get into rentals now, because rentals is a different game with insurance and all those type of other issues you were talking about with people tampering and stuff. So that was our first real introduction into the rental game.
And that was more so like the private transportation. That was more so like what, like I'm guessing, Sprinter vans, Benz trucks, stuff like that.
No. So in this first round of cars we got 2 Range Rovers. Okay. We got 2 2021s X6s. At the time it's 2021, so we got 2 brand new 2021s X6s. We got 4 Range Rovers, the HSC, the Sport, the Velar, the Evoque. What else did we have?
Yeah, I went all out.
Yeah, and then we ended up getting the black truck a few months later, and that's what really brought it up. But at the time, we were using the Range Rovers for transportation. People was really into it. Coming straight off the pandemic, people was really into like being driven around in the private transportation, and a lot of girls at that too. At the time when I first started, it was a lot of girls I was getting my bookings from in the beginning, to be honest. A lot of birthday celebrations, they going out with their friends. They want to book a car to go. Not even at the time. Oh, really? Not even at the time, because it's summertime now, so proms was already done.
Yeah.
I missed that wave in that year. But it was really just like a lot of private celebrations, birthday events. Girls would book 1 car. When I first started, I was letting people book 1 car, but I was bringing 2 cars for them, like 2 luxury cars. So if they booked 1 X6, I was really bringing the Benz too, just so you know, for the aesthetic, and now they have more space for their friends and stuff like that. When I first started, just to build the brand and get my name out and stuff like that. People love an extra car. People love an extra car, so.
Yeah, so what would you say is I'm sure the audience will know, which one's your favorite?
I don't really have favorites, because at the end of the day, they all got, I like to use them all for business purposes. Which one's my favorite moneymaker, I could tell you, is that black truck, that GMC Yukon. Yeah, man, that one's the real moneymaker. Not only just for money making, but I do like to drive it too. It's very spacious. And it's a great marketing tool. I'm in the black truck. People want to know why I'm hopping out of black truck. I'm telling them like, what I do and how. That's how conversations get started at a lot, because I'm small. Hopping out of black truck, coming out some places, I look crazy, and they want to know. So that's how a lot of conversations get started with me too, just by being in it and driving around. It's a conversation starters for sure too. So definitely like the black truck vibes.
Yeah, it's funny too how you said that's how a lot of conversations start, because it's really like literally conversations really start like with the marketing aspect to it, because it's like, even when I was in network marketing, one of the top like leaders and whatnot, he was saying like, sometimes I just go up to people and I ask them like, what do you like to do, just so I could throw in what I do, and then that way I kind of spark the conversation to like pull in a sale, if that makes sense. So that's what he was saying. Like, that was
not for sure. It's at the end of the day, everything attracts to different people. So in my realm, like I'm trying to attract people that want to be driven around, that want that luxury of being driven around. Because at the end of the day, it's a luxury. You don't need to be driven around. That's a luxury feeling. That's something you have to be able to afford to pay for. So I'm looking for those type of people. When I'm in the black truck, those people that want to be serviced in a black truck or in a Range Rover or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So one question I have, it's more of a personal question for me. So I had friends who they've tried to do car fleets and stuff like that, right? And these are guys who have like, millions of dollars, stuff like that. And the thing is, they would say like, they're like, dealerships and not just dealers, but banks would only allow them a certain amount of cars and stuff like that. So they would try to basically get other people to buy. Well, basically they give the cash, of course, but let's say
They
you
put it
give
in
me
somebody else's name.
yeah, like you give me $1 million, I go to the dealership and get 5 cars for you or something like that, or 10, or however many I could, the max amount I could get. So I guess you, especially being this a business platform, if you could just emphasize like I guess the credit side to things and understanding like why credit is important when it comes to having like a car business for sure.
So it's great that you brought that up because as I keep mentioning, I'm not trying to brag or anything. When I keep saying phase 1 and we got 15 cars in a month, I mean we got 15 cars in a month. My partner went out with our organization and 3 people got, my partner himself, he got 7 different cars under his name. And the other partners, they got 3 all in within a month because of the way the credit process works. And and I just dropped a gem for y'all just because we're here. When you go to the dealerships and they're running your credit for the vehicles, you have up to 30 days until the loan shows on your credit. So you could go into multiple dealerships within a week. You could go into BMW on Monday, you could go into Benz on Tuesday, you could go into Honda on Wednesday, you can go into Nissan on Thursday and get 4 different approvals all in 1 week.
So you don't have to take them?
No, you're taking them. That's how you're getting the cars. That's how we're getting the cars. So
I thought you meant like 30 days, like if they want to back out, basically.
No, so if you're looking to build a fleet in this essence, that's how you're doing it. You're going into the dealerships and you're basically car stacking. There's people who credit stack. We were car stacking. So sorry about that. As I just said, those 4 different days, you're able to get 4 different approvals because those are 4 different dealerships. Those approvals won't show up on the credit until 30 days after. So that's how you car stack, and that's how we were able to get multiple cars at a time. So we do have vehicles that are under other people's name, but it's all in our company.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some people, in essence, have multiple cars under their name.
So, but that's the thing though, being that, because I guess from your perspective, these are guys that are all on the same team. I'm sure the LLC and everything, like you guys are all under the same business name, basically, right? So like, what about, especially too for the audience, and of course, like I said, for me as well, having, I didn't actually get a chance to do it because they decided not to, but for the audience, if they wanted to know, like, okay, if I tell my friends to go do it, is this something they could do for me, or do they have to be a part of my business to go get those cars with me?
I mean, I guess it depends on what you're asking them to do. Are you asking them to be partners? Or are you asking them to just legit get cars for you?
Yeah, just get the cars.
Most people, when you get the cars for them, they're gonna wanna be a part of what you're doing because they're taking on the risk of their credit.
Exactly.
So you're getting them the car, but you're responsible for the payment. So now at a time when, things may go wrong and whatever the case is, it's affecting the person with the credit. So in essence, you do want to do an equity deal with the person. You do want to do like a partnership, like a co-hosting deal, something like of the sort 70-30 to you or them, depending on how the deal is. Like if it's really just a situation of them getting you the car and you're handling everything, then that 70% should go to you and they should get 30%. Just because of the fact that they took the risk for you. Because obviously you're asking them for a reason. Sorry about that. You're asking them for a reason because, you can't take the risk or your credit might not be ready or you might not have the cash. So basis of that, you should offer them equity just to make the clause more doable. But I mean, in the cases of they don't want nothing to do with it, you cover the note. I don't have no reason to do it if, then yeah, you could take 100%. But
yes,
most of, I would figure the people that you're asking are looking to, get into those type of deals in business, to why not take an extra 30%? So I looked at it on the side of that's how you can make money too. That's a good way to make money. Like you co-host the cars instead of doing it all by yourself. Because now your risk is a little less, and now you're able to make more. So,
yeah. So one thing I was gonna ask too is like, especially luxury cars. We're young guys. I'm sure like people always try to come up to you like for discounts or for free cars and stuff like that. Like how do you feel about that? Like when people try that?
I mean, that's the game you in when you still a building business because at the end of the day nobody could go up to Uber and go on the app and ask anybody for a discount. So at the end of the day, that's just what it comes with when you're building a business. I do like to work with people, especially repeated customers or repeated clients. I definitely like to work with them. But at the end of the day, when you first approaching somebody, you should always be willing to pay their price first. That's how you get discounts. That's a gem for everybody. That's how you get discounts. You approach ready to pay what you're supposed to pay first, and then after you build a relationship, you're able to come and make those type of requests.
Yeah.
But I do try to work with people because at the end of the day, I'm still building the business. Like I don't feel like I'm too big for certain things, or I try to keep everything tight around the perimeters and stuff. So that's why it's really only referral only. Like you can't just DM me on Instagram for like a random person can't just DM me like, oh, I need chauffeur service last minute. Like it has to be a referral. You have to be coming from Bryce, or it has to be coming from my cameraman or somebody I know. Just for safety reasons and just stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Also, too, there's like a level of organization that has to go to that because there's gonna be invoicing involved. There's probably gonna be paperwork involved, like from a contractual standpoint, and then to the scheduling, of course. Like if I tell you, hey, Kyle, I need a car next Friday at 7 p.m., and then it's like one of your other partners has somebody next Friday at 7 p.m. Until you guys finally have that conversation, which probably, let's just say it doesn't happen until Wednesday, there's going to be a conflict there because now you got to go back to those people and say, hey, I can't do your 7 p.m. booking anymore.
And that's happened. And that's why, as I said, like in terms of as I'm learning all of this and trying to build the business, like now I know, like take a deposit, collect something that says like you want this date. Even if it's refundable, whatever the case is, just collect something that says like this date is locked in for this time because we do have multiple cars and we do have multiple people that may want cars on the same day. And you don't want to run into those problems and somebody booked you now, you can't service them last minute, it looks bad on you. So stuff like that, scheduling, kind of keep those things tight. It's really just easier when you collect a deposit now.
Yeah, so what would you say, like how does the pricing go? Like what factors into the pricing? Because I feel like that's something that a lot of people should know, whether it's for their own good if they want to start up a fleet, or if it's just from the consumer standpoint to understand, okay, like this is why I'm paying so much. Because I feel like people tend to think car rentals is more so, oh, well, the more luxurious the car is, the more I'm going to pay. So I'm just going to get the Toyota if he has a Toyota compared to like the Benzes and all the other cars he has. And I'm just going to be cheap with it. But they still understand there's still certain expenses that come with that Toyota that you're paying for in that rental.
Yeah, for sure. And it really depends on who you're going to for the fleet. Because like my fleet is straight, for the most part, like straight luxury cars, all cars that you would want to be in. Even if it's down to like a BMW X3 or even a 3 Series, like because that could be a Uber Black to some people, like the 3 Series, blacked out, tinted, whatever the case is. So it really depends. You wouldn't really have a Toyota in your private luxury fleet to do chauffeuring. So the pricing always remains premium because your customer base needs to be premium. You're not trying to service everybody. As I said, like the fact of being driven around is a luxury. Like you're not selling it as like, I need you to buy this. You're selling it like, you want this, so just come to me for it type of vibe. So the pricing is definitely premium. It used to be 80 an hour when we first started, 80 an hour, 4 hours minimum. When I first started 2021, 22. Then it jumped up to 90 and now it's at about 100 an hour. But usually, as you mentioned, that's usually after a discount. Like that's usually after discount. But
so it's hourly. It's not like daily rates. Like
for
rentals.
For chauffeuring or rentals?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you talk about chauffeuring. I was speaking
rentals?
like more for the rentals. Yeah.
The rentals are a little different because, as I said, we was on Toro for the most part. So the Toro pricing was handling all of that at the time. Like the private rentals, that's real strict with us, like because the insurance and all of that type of stuff, it's too much. So that stuff doesn't even need to be talked about because I don't even really rent cars for real. If you want something from me, it's chauffeuring, private transportation, pictures, video shoots, stuff like that. Anything like concierge type of vibe, trying to need help booking a date in the city, whatever, stuff like that. But the rentals veered away from, man, too much headaches. Too much headaches. Yeah,
so I was gonna say, just from your Instagram alone, I see like you're good at with the photography, like you have professional pictures and stuff. So it's like for you guys, is it more so, okay, we'll bring the car to you and then you just have your own photography, whatever you do with the car, that's on you? Or is it, hey, we'll bring the car to you, but we have a photography service we'll add as well?
So recently, before, for the most part, it was you're just booking the car for the shoot and you have your own photographer there. But recently, I did a collab deal with my boy, Reshot That on Instagram, my photographer. Reshot that. Reshot underscore that.
There's so many shot that's in New
Yeah,
York.
so
It's
many
just
of
like
them.
yo, like I
That's my
had to
boy,
make sure.
though.
I'm like, do I know this one?
That's my boy.
Or
That's
shot
my
by
guy.
such and such. Like,
There's only so much names of photographers could use, man. They gotta, But yeah, that's my boy Reshot underscore that on IG. He does all my pictures for all those type of stuff, all the proms, and that's like the photographer I'm bringing. I got a few other photographers I work with, but as I said, recently we just did the collab to offer the black truck with a photographer for one rate and stuff like that. So
yeah, I'm actually looking to start up photography myself because it's like, I have my camera here. Ross always takes the off guards and stuff like that with. And then I also have another camera at home. And it's just like, for me, I was just like, well, I'm not just going to bring my camera here just for pictures in the studio. Of course, I want to take pictures like for myself. So, I take pictures for myself. And then I also take pictures for my friends too. And after a certain point, people like, because even with the iPhone, people like, you go with pictures on the camera. You should start doing this as a business. I'm just like, well, for me, it's more so time constraint. So, I'll figure it out when I figure it out. But eventually, I do want to even get nice with the camera where I know, okay, I could do this, I could do that with the camera.
for sure. Photography is a great skill to have. I feel like everybody should know how to take pictures.
I just got to figure out the name.
Yeah.
It's like, my real name is Fabrice, right? So it's Fabrice. So I was thinking Fab Flicks, right? But then it's just like, I could just do something with Brees. But it's like, I need a term, like a photography term that starts with the letter B, so I could see how I could like,
you definitely want to keep your branding
like
under one thing. So it's definitely better if you get something like within your brand already. You could even do something like what's Cooking, like Cooking shot that. Let me not say shot that because we just said that. But you know what I'm saying? Keep everything under one brand so people know you for multiple things. But it's all your stuff. So now they're coming to you for podcasts, they're coming for you for the pictures, they're coming for you for the production. Like everything is all under one house.
Yeah, because that's the key that I always say. Like, and I just said it last episode too. Like you just said, keep everything under one brand. Because I feel like, they always say millionaire has 7 streams of income. 7 streams of income doesn't mean 7 different things. It could be one thing that has 7 different umbrellas. Well, one umbrella that has 7. Well, you get the analogy I'm trying to make,
No,
right?
for sure, because
and photography could be that because I already have the camera.
No, for sure, because that's how we looked at it with the cars. Like that was the mindset behind it. Like this one business should be able to fund 7 different businesses that still fund this one business. Like it's not 7 different. You don't have a food shop and this and that. You could do that at the point when you stacked up and you're able to invest your money. But when you're first starting, it's important to try to like really focus on that one thing, master it, and then you branch off. Yeah, it's definitely more. You definitely waste less time that way, and effort and energy. Because as you said, everybody screams there's 7 different streams of income, but it's really like how do you make 7 different streams of income off your one business first? And then you branch off.
Because then those 7 might do something else.
Yeah, those 7 turn into
got 49
its own.
or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so one thing I was going to ask, like going towards the future, like are you thinking about getting into aviation? Because I do see like a lot of rental businesses, they actually start getting helicopters and private jets and stuff like that.
So yeah, definitely in the future, I want to do it big, man. I'm supposed to have a top class luxury chauffeur fleet. Trying to do it in multiple states. I want to at some point have boats available, jet skis, all of that type of like concierge stuff. Like as I said, the same thing. Like one-stop shop. Like anything of those luxuries that you want, you should be able to come to me for it. And even if I don't have it, I should be able to plug you in with it because I have a partner or whatever. So I used to actually be partnered with a jet company. My partner and I used to be partnered with a jet company a few years back. Actually not with them no more, but just as you mentioned, like stuff like that is definitely want to be in tune with all of those type of luxury amenities to be able to provide for people.
Yeah, and I like that too because like it goes back to your point earlier of just keeping things in house and whatnot. Seems like you guys really like develop your network to really, because most people like to network in the sense of how many people can they know as opposed to what type of people they know in terms of like quality, quantity over quality. In your case, it's more quality over quantity.
Yeah, for sure. Because as I said, it's like referral only. It's not super random. We do have a booking site, but it's like it's not even instant. Like you put your info in, then it sends the booking for us to request it. We look it over.
You look it up.
We text them. Make sure certain this, that, picture the license, just stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, as you said, security reasons and just all that type of stuff. You just don't want, at the end of the day, you just don't want random people that you may don't know from just, popping up and being able to book your service. That's how you actually bring the value down. Like for us, it's like, it's luxury because it's exclusive, like, type of vibe.
Yeah, I mean, even with the podcast too. I was just saying that with Nick in the last episode. Speaking of Nick, you also good friends with DJ
Yeah,
Nick
yeah,
too,
my
right?
boy DJ Nick. I
That's
knew him from young. It's my
yeah.
boy right there,
He
man.
got a rental yet?
Yeah. As I said, so I haven't been doing the renties like that. Like, so the renties is more. He did book the black truck for his mom for her birthday though.
Okay, that's what's up. We love to
Yeah.
see like the family and the friendships.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah. He definitely. Yeah, and that's the next thing. Like a lot of the people that book is friends or friends of friends. Like, that's what I mean. Like by keeping it in house, not trying to be bougie, but it's like it's really just people I know that are coming to me for it, or their friends are seeing that I do, and they know that we're friends, so they want to do it. And so yeah, and then now they tell their friends. So that type of stuff is definitely cool to be able to do business with your friends, and it's not on some like they're really coming to me for business. Like like I have this business, I'm running this business, they're paying this transaction like you would anywhere else to do business. So.
Yeah, 'cause I was even gonna say too, going back to my point, like Nick that you just met, the other one, in his, I was saying like in his episode, I like to actually like the same way you say you like to do I guess a preliminary search on somebody. I can do the same thing too. I like to look at people's Instagram, get a feel of what they do, and also too the type of person I'm dealing with, because maybe they might not be fit for a podcast, because they might not present themselves in a certain way and a certain aesthetic that matches what I'm trying to do here with my platform.
Sure. For sure. And people might think, you're trying
And
to be
security, of
bougie
course, too.
and stuff like that. People might think you're trying to be bougie or you're just too good. And it's not even like that. Like, at the end of the day, it's the same thing with Saks and all those other stores, Louis, and all these other stores that, we go shop at and spend this money at. Like, they don't just, like, they're not looking for everybody. They're trying to appeal, again, to a certain level of clientele. People that could afford those luxuries, because their stuff is priced at that stuff for a reason, and there's people that still buy it. So it's the same type of vibe that you want to keep in with your business. Just keep it, everything exclusive in a sense. You want to seem like you're the most exclusive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes because some people argue this, especially Mike, he argues this with me. Sometimes, because I try to push like the exclusive thing out there too. Like, sometimes it is good to be exclusive, but he's more so, well, you got to get your name out there and be more out there. I'm just like, depends to what extent, and it depends on the scenario. Because sometimes, like for example, my friend, he's pretty inconsistent now, but when he was starting his fashion stuff, he had this brand called Wealthy. Like he made Wealthy shorts, right? And he had all these colorways, but he released it exclusively by season. So it's like, it's kind of like how, it's funny because now it's like Eric Emanuel shorts are like lit, but he's been doing this from way back. It's like Eric Emanuel is kind of doing the same blueprint where it's like, okay, we drop these 3 colors, in the fall, and then maybe a year from now we're gonna drop like another 3 colors. And this is what he was doing back in the day when I first met him. Yeah, and I'm just like, that exclusiveness really makes people want to go.
It builds the tension, like it builds the hype behind it, like because now after the first few drops and you realize that people really like it and they're really like adhere toward it, they want it now. So no matter how long you take to drop now, yes, you want to be consistent, but you're trying to build your clientele base to a point where anytime you drop, it sells out. Anytime you release something, like it could go, and that's exactly what Eric Emanuel and other brands are doing.
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier that you've like had other businesses, like you said you were doing the hair care for the women and whatnot. So being a multifaceted entrepreneur, what would you say is like, what was your like biggest challenge?
It's still going through these challenges. I'm a legit growing entrepreneur. Like I'm not like, trying to get to the point where obviously super successful and able to fully fund everything off full-time business. But I'm still going through growing pains, like, on a daily basis, weekly basis. The car shit is not easy at all. Like I don't want anybody to think that shit is easy. The hair I've been doing for a while. It's not hair care, but it's I sell like the wigs and the bundles and the eyelashes, like all those type of amenities for girls. I've been doing that since end of 2019, 2020. During COVID, I really stuck with it during COVID, because during COVID, surprisingly, like people are still buying stuff, like literally still buying lashes and stuff like that. But we're not going anywhere. So no, but it's not even about that. I'm talking about females, like girls. We're not talking about guys and guys, but I'm talking about girls are spending money weekly, like for the same things while being stuck in the house. So like from there, I realized like that stuff is like a need-based business. Like it's not just something to do for fun on the side or to look cool. Like that's something like I'm trying to build up to a point where it's like on autopilot and it's doing its own thing and it could stand by itself, just to be able to, collect the money on the back end from it, because as I said, it's a need-based business. It's not something that as I seen, we go into another global shutdown or something else happens worldwide, I'll still be able to, sell the products and make money off of it. And then, yeah, I do other stuff. I'm still I'm still grinding. I still do other 1099 work, stuff like that. I do consultations. I'm getting into consultations now. Like this type of conversation we had, people wanting to know how you could use your credit to do X, Y, and Z. Because not only cars you could use your credit, it's a whole bunch of stuff credit could take you to. So I'm into consultations now. About to launch credit repair, hopefully in the next 2 months. So yeah, I'm actually still going through those type of stuff because I'm still looking for, the realm of what makes me happy. But I like to work, so it don't feel like work. Like anytime I'm trying to start something new and stuff like that, it don't really feel like it's work. Like it just feels like, all right, this is the next challenge. This is how I'm gonna build this, to do that, and how we gonna run with it from there. So
yeah. So how would people find you, in terms of how do you prefer to be reached out to, when it comes to bookings and stuff like that?
So we got the business Instagram page, SNS Luxury Cars. We got my page, CEO_Kyle Flossy. We got the website, SNS. I'll have him put it in the description, SNS, SNSRamsey.com. We'll have that put in the description. You could request vehicles from there. And then my number is also attached to the Instagram. So when you go on the SNS and you click text, and you could just text me right there, send your quote. A lot of people send it through Instagram. It's prom season right now.
Yeah, I know it's definitely.
So a lot of people are just sending it through Instagram, been posting a lot of stuff like that, doing a lot of collabs with that, trying to, boost the brand during this time. And yeah, or friends of friends. If you know your friend knows me, ask your friend for my number. I'm not bougie, man. We could talk. It's enough for everybody. And yeah.
Yeah, so just like that, we're going to wrap it up here. So, as always, show love to our guests. And if you're new to the page, subscribe to the channel and check out other content. Check out episodes with similar people that, we both, our similar mutual friends like DJ Nick, True Vinci. And I don't know, was there anyone else that you knew that was up here?
Not from the episodes I saw, but I mean, they'll definitely be having dope people. It'd be people up here talking about real stuff, or stuff that could really make you money and help you build and get ahead. So even the people I don't know, I'm trying to meet for sure. So
no, definitely we'll get you in them doors, man, for sure. And hopefully vice versa as well.
No, for sure.
See who else we could meet.
Each one teach one. There's enough room for everybody in this, man.
Of course. So Kyle, it was a pleasure. As always, show love to the guests, tap it with us, and we out.